One of the biggest lies ever told to working class people is this: you need a high salary to become wealthy. That sounds true, but it's not. There are people making $200,000, $300,000, even $500,000 a year, still broke. And there are teachers, janitors, bus drivers, postal workers, and regular black families quietly becoming millionaires over time. Not because they got lucky, because they understood one thing. Wealth is not about income alone. It's about what you keep. That's the difference between looking successful and becoming financially free.
Here's the real formula for wealth. Income minus expenses equals cash flow. That's it. If your expenses consume everything you make, you cannot build wealth, no matter how high your salary is. But if you consistently create positive cash flow, even on a modest income, you create the raw material for investing. And many black families were never taught this directly. We were taught, work hard, survive, pay bills, but not necessarily how to build ownership. Positive cash flow is where ownership begins.
One reason many people never build wealth: lifestyle inflation. Every raise becomes a bigger car, better clothes, more subscriptions, more spending, more pressure. Instead of building assets, people accidentally upgrade liabilities. And social media made this worse, because now everybody feels pressure to look successful immediately. But wealthy people think differently. When income rises, they often keep their lifestyle stable and invest the difference. That gap becomes freedom later. Most people think wealth building requires extreme discipline. But honestly, systems matter more than motivation. Because motivation changes. Stress changes. Life changes. That's why automation is powerful. When money automatically moves into savings, investments, retirement accounts, before you touch it, wealth building becomes easier. You stop relying on willpower and start relying on systems. That shift changes everything. Before building wealth, many people first need to stop the bleeding. Credit card debt, high interest loans, constant minimum payments. That debt quietly steals time, peace, future wealth, emotional energy. And many black families are trapped in survival debt cycles because nobody explained how dangerous interest really is. A 24% credit card interest rate can destroy years of financial progress. That's why paying off high interest debt is one of the best investments you can make. Because every dollar of interest avoided is guaranteed growth. This is where wealth building becomes powerful. Compound interest. The ability for money to grow, then grow on its own growth. At first, it looks slow. But over decades, it becomes life-changing. That's why starting early matters more than being perfect. Even small monthly investing can grow into hundreds of thousands or even millions with enough time and consistency. This is how many quiet millionaires are built. Not through hype, through patience. A lot of people stay scared of investing because of market crashes. But wealthy investors understand something important. The market moves in cycles. Crashes happen. Recoveries happen. The people who panic usually lose. The people who stay consistent usually win. And this matters for working class Black families because many people were taught to fear investing completely. But avoiding investing forever can quietly cost people hundreds of thousands of dollars in long-term growth. Consistency beats fear. One paycheck is risky. That's something many wealthy people understand early, because jobs can disappear overnight. That's why multiple income streams matter. Not necessarily huge businesses, just additional flows, side hustles, freelance work, dividends, small businesses, online income, investments. Even a small extra income stream can dramatically speed up wealth building, especially when invested consistently. This might disappoint some people, but real wealth building is usually boring. Driving older cars, cooking at home, ignoring trends, buying index funds, staying consistent for decades. That's not flashy, but it works. And honestly, that quiet discipline creates something more valuable than attention. It creates options, freedom, peace, the ability to walk away from stressful situations. That's real wealth. This might disappoint some people, but real wealth building is usually boring. Driving older cars, cooking at home, ignoring trends, buying index funds, staying consistent for decades. That's not flashy, but it works. And honestly, that quiet discipline creates something more valuable than attention. It creates options, freedom, peace, the ability to walk away from stressful situations. That's real wealth. At the end of the day, becoming a millionaire on a low salary is not really about becoming rich. It's about becoming free. Free from constant stress, paycheck to paycheck living, emotional spending, financial fear. And for Black families, this matters deeply because wealth changes generations, not just bank accounts. The people who quietly win financially usually do the same things for decades. Automate saving, invest consistently, avoid lifestyle traps, protect peace, stay patient. No hype, no magic, just discipline repeated long enough to change your future. That's the code.